Life without drag would be diabolical. Hello, my name is James. My name is Raspberry. I am a drag artist, entertainer, host. I am a drag artist, DJ, design, you know the rest. The feeling I have when I walk onto a stage at the beginning of the night is ownership. I'm trying to show the room that I'm the one who's in charge. So I walk in, I just kind of like collect myself, I look down at the floor for a second, deep breath, and then I just go, big smile, I go, hello CC Blooms, and then like everyone just like correlates, and like you hear cheers and noise, and everyone just makes their way to me. The feeling I want audiences to have when, like, you know, when I come onto the stage, for example, or like when I'm performing, is I just want them to feel like they're in safe hands. I want them to feel like they're getting their money's worth. I want them to feel like they're getting a confident host who knows exactly what they're doing. I want them just to feel like they're able to kind of like let go of their inhibitions and just have a good time and like fall into my flow for once. And that's before the show even officially starts. Like that's like the 5-minute warning. That's my favorite part of the entire night, is the 5-minute warning, because that's the moment that people get to like really see me be on for the first time that night. It's a very empowering feeling. When I look back on like all of the performances I've done, my most favorite like comedy number I've ever done, I came out in like a kimono, I had like a long blonde wig on. As soon as I started to get to the chorus, I took the wig off and I pulled out a rainbow afro and I put that on my head, and then I pulled out a little red lipstick from my pocket and I just drew like big red cheeks and I connected them to my mouth, and then I pulled out a big red nose and I put it on my nose. Then I took out the kimono, there was a full clown costume on underneath. I started like pulling up props. I had like a little like clown honky horn. I had like a little miniature bike that I rode around the stage on. And I feel like that was the moment that I really wanted to let the room learn my personality for the first time, because I had never really done anything like that before. That's when Raspberry became Raspberry. That's when the character really started to come alive for the first time. Because I think that's what drag's really about. It's like breaking down that wall. And although obviously everything's like over the top and cartoony and like fake, you're letting people kind of get to know a deeper part of your personality, because I'm letting you see the things I'm passionate about, which I think some people are really anxious about revealing that part of themselves. And that number in particular is special to me because that's like me like being like my rawest self, which is completely stupid and insane. It's a bit of a prison sometimes as well. Like there's something a bit depressing about feeling like people don't really get to know you as much as they get to know Raspberry. That's the difficult part sometimes with Raspberry and James, is that those personalities do blend in a lot. I am naturally really funny. I'm naturally like a very like quick-witted person. However, Raspberry is just like all of the inhibitions turned off, if that makes sense. It's definitely easier to be Raspberry sometimes, and it's a hard switch to turn off. So as a child, I was very timid. I was very like isolated. I like didn't have like a lot of friends. I didn't talk to people. I was very much keeping myself to myself. I was very creative. I was like very like artistic. I just kind of, you know, I tried to express it how I could, but like I didn't have any direction. I wanted to kind of like figure out my purpose. So I thought cross-dressing could be fun. My very first performance in drag was rough. I had been doing drag at that point barely at all. I did not know what I was doing. I had like no skills or like any kind of like tools of the trade. I keep absolutely out of nowhere. No one had a clue of who I was. It was just an experience that you lived through. I enjoyed it personally. I had a fantastic time, but the audience just had to watch.
My name's Tommy Grace, and Raspberry, also James, is my partner. I first met Raspberry on the 21st of February 2019. Me and my friends went to McDonald's, and then the drag queens came in, James obviously with them. The other two drag queens were speaking to me, and James was sat one seat away from me, and I just looked at him and I was like, why is this one not talking to me?
It means a lot that Tommy was there for me at that time to help me see that potential within myself. From being like a very isolated kid, not having anyone in your corner at all, then suddenly having one person who like sees you and understands where you're coming from with things and understands like the potential of what it could be when you don't see it. He always can see what is going to be coming next, and I think he could see all of this. He could see that I was going to make a name for myself with this. He could see that I was going to make my family proud. I was going to make money from this. I was going to make like almost like a business from this. Like, I have the potential to really unlock anything I want to, but I just need someone pushing that drive. And I think he was determined to kind of break that shell. We're life partners. Like, we are like, I think we were gently put in this world to like help each other out and to help each other have a good time through some really complicated and weird situations. And I can imagine life without him, especially with drag. I don't think, to me, Raspberry is like 70% me, 30% Tommy. He brings the fire. Obviously, I can like be myself and I can bring all the personality, but I wouldn't be as business savvy if I didn't have Toby, in my corner, helping me guide the ship a bit when I really need it. Because I could imagine this journey being so lonely without having a Tommy there. And I think that anyone who has got a Tommy in their corner is really, really lucky. The community that we've built at CC Blooms is eclectic. I feel like it's people from all over different parts of Scotland who do come here and travel. They want to give like that time to really celebrate the raw art form of drag for what it is, and giving that space to people to just be their like raw self for like those like minutes that they're on the stage. And I feel like it's such a nice and supportive environment. It's something that I've always been really passionate about with drag, is creating those kind of spaces. So now I actually have managed to figure out a space to do that in, and it happens to be one of my most favourite spaces in Scotland. It feels like a dream come true.
When you go to places like CC Blooms and there's a drag show on, everyone knows everyone kind of thing. It's kind of like a family. It's weird because it's such like a typical thing to say, but it is generally what it feels like.
I personally have a sisterhood. I have like my very, very close circle of girls who I work with all the time. I trust with all my secrets. I will talk to them about anything all day, every day. They have my number. They know to call me for anything. I'm very much like a welcoming person. Like, anyone that can feel comfortable to come into my house. They can take food from my fridge. I don't really care. They have access to my drag room. They can take anything they want, borrow it. As long as you give it back and don't break it, I'm cool. But I want to make sure that like everyone in my circle has that relationship with me, because I feel like some people really need that. Especially, that's what I wish I had when I started, and I'm happy to be that person for people now.
Everyone's doing it for a different reason. There's not one cookie cutter. I think from the outside it might look like that. There might be people who look a little similar or who perform similarly, but not at all. Everyone is completely different. Everyone's had their own journey. Everyone's going through their own journey, and some people still have a journey to go.
I like watching these people who don't always feel like they have communities that they can talk to. It's really beautiful to see people completely open up and change like that. I think drag brings out like the colour in my life. It brings out the fun. It brings out the intensity. It's about just turning off your social inhibitions, just enjoying the moment, feeling it, not caring about what other people think or say. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned in that time is to really just let go of my inhibitions and stop caring about how the world perceives me all the time, and to just really enjoy the moment. People would really like you if you're just being yourself. You've got a great personality. As long as you're smiling and having a good time and making sure everyone else is having a good time, well, who cares about the rest? There's a light that's in me, and it is always trying to figure out a way to get out all the time, no matter how things are going. I think I can be like a bit of a depressive person sometimes. That's my natural disposition. But like, there's a light that's always going to fight through it. And especially when I was younger, I wish I had someone there, even if it is me now, just to say, that like always going to be in there.